like I was hate reading. And it was still 5 stars. I paid you for more emotional damage. I paid you more. I'm gonna say crisscross applesauce? I guess we're going line ticket day, guys. I hope this looks good because this is what we're sticking with, okay? We are gonna talk about my God tier books today. I am so excited. I've never made a list like this before. Like, I've said things are God tier, but I haven't put them on like a legit list yet. What is my God tier list? So I took my little like notebook and I was like, think of all the books that are constantly like in your head at least like once a month, like couple, like every quarter, we'll say that every quarter, like this book comes back to you or you think about something like that. And this is the list, so I'm really excited to sit down and talk about it. First off, I don't think I've put this in any of my other videos. I told y'all that I'm engaged and now I'm married. I'm married.
Married?
Yeah, married.
Married?
Married. Jeez.
We were engaged for about a month. And mind you, we've been together for like 2 years and we've known each other since high school. So we're engaged for a month because just nothing in our life would really change if we got married. We have a house together, we have 2 dogs, you know, nothing really changed except for a piece of paper. I am now a dependent of the military. I've learned some stuff about the military, but it's like every single day I learn something new. But anyways, all that aside, let's get down to my current list of God tier books. Starting off, we're gonna have our standalones, mainly because I don't want to grab the other ones yet. And a lot of them, some of them are popular series, so I'm not going to talk about them a lot, besides being like, this is why it's a God tier, and probably beg you to read it if you haven't. But I wanted to start with some that maybe are a little lesser known or standalones. I know there are so many series nowadays that sometimes it's nice to have a standalone. So that's why I wanted to do it first, and I'm really excited to get down to it with y'all. First up, these are in no particular order. We have The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. It is very cute. This is about a very old man who dies. And he meets 5 people in heaven who tell him how much of an impact he is. And the connections in the story are so beautifully done. This book is 200 pages and it's still absolutely beautiful. I loved it. It was a really fast read and I cried. And I say on here all the time, like, oh, I don't cry that much. I'm starting to become a liar. But this definitely like touched something in my soul. It always, like, not to get too dark and deep in the first book, but raise your hand if you're scared of death. Me. Because I don't know what happens afterwards. But also the biggest part is not knowing life's purpose. Like, oh, what am I doing here? And this is literally just telling him like how much of an importance he was. And, you know, he didn't get that in his actual life. And I'm like, this is what I really hope heaven is like, is that you get some kind of clarity, whether it is you meet 5 people who you impacted their life indirectly or directly, or you simply just get the knowledge of that. But I would like to be able to like know like why I was put on earth. Like, what was my purpose? Did I fulfill it? Did I not? Please don't tell me I didn't. But like, I don't know. So I just really liked the idea of this book, and I do think about it quite a bit. Oh, there's a little indent on it. I do think about it quite a bit because, again, death is something that is scary to me, and I listen to murder podcasts now, so it's constantly there where I'm like, do they get that clarity? Like, their last moments were horrible. Like, do they really get peace after like all that kind of stuff? In this book, kind of in a way gives me peace of mind, even though it's not confirming anything, but it's giving me an idea that I'm okay with, like I'm comfortable with. Is like, yes, he still has a lot of regrets, and he does talk through those, but it's also benefiting him to see his life through other people's eyes, and I really enjoyed that. So this is one of my god tier books. This book. If you don't know, my husband and I are a second chance romance, and I started reading this book when we first started dating, and it hit hard. Like, we didn't go through what they go through, but he was my really close friend in high school, and I fucked it up. So to read a book like this, it was like so good. But this is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. And when I tell you, I think about this book quite a bit whenever it comes up in my life, or certain quotes will trigger it, or even just my own relationship with my husband is, you know, that missed time with that one person, and healing over the wounds that you once had. Yeah. Oh wow, we're getting so deep. Anyways, this is about Macy is a nurse, and she has this like routine life, and then all of a sudden Elliot and her have a little run-in, and Elliot is her first ever boyfriend, best friend. Like, this guy was everything to her growing up, and he is going to destroy her bubble that she created. But it is alternating between timelines of like then and now, so you get how they became friends, their connection, and then their love story, because it is friends to lovers to not friends to lovers, because it's second chance. Anyways, he comes back, and you get that timeline with this new life that she's built, and he's there doing stuff and saying things and bringing back memories that she, you know, pushed down. It's so good. Now wanting to do a reread. Oh my god. I found a quote. Favorite word, he whispers. I don't hesitate. You. Favorite word? Oh, I'm not gonna cry. Love in Other Words. Just read it. Like, look, even if, no, I'm just gonna say read it. I'm not gonna be like, even if you don't, no, you should just read it. Just saying. Okay, all right, third book. Again, this is not in any particular order, but we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I just realized the thing that makes this god tier is a spoiler, and I can't tell you. Oh my gosh. Anyways, this is kind of loosely, I don't know if the author says it, based on the life of Elizabeth Taylor, because she had 7 husbands, but you know, it's not based on her. But this is Evelyn Hugo, who is a very popular, a very well-known actress for her time, and she had 7 husbands. So basically, later in life, she is ready to tell her truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses an unknown reporter to write her story, no one is more astounded than is entirely in Monique's viewpoint, her POV. But she basically gets selected by Evelyn Hugo to write her biography. And so she has to do interviews with Evelyn Hugo. It's this whole process, and it's very complicated. There's a lot going on, and it's so good. It's so good. When I say Evelyn is such a complex character, she's just so human in a way, and I absolutely loved every second of it. This was so eye-opening. She's telling her story to Monique, and Monique is like going through her own thing. So it says, Evelyn's story nears its conclusion. It becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in tragic and irreversible ways. And boy does it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It does. Also, if I didn't say so, the author is Taylor Jenkins Reid, which a lot of people love. She is like a favorite author for a lot of people. I will be completely honest, I think this is the only book by her I've ever read. And I don't have a lot of interest to do it with the others. Not that I have anything against them necessarily, but oh my gosh, I'm like picking at my face. But I'm just not drawn to them, you know? So incredibly good. It has twists and turns, plot lines, cliffhangers. It's so good. So good, so complex. This is about the human experience and how complicated life can be. And I loved every second of reading it. I have such distinct memories of listening to the audiobook while I was working at H&M, like doing closing shifts and like going through the plot twist and realizing how it was connecting to like my life and how I feel. What I'm trying to say is it's really good and you should read it. It is one of my favorites. Even out of my like God tier, it's one of my favorites. So, all right, the next book, I was trying to think of a different way to say the next book, but whatever, is Wayward. I have been talking a lot about this book for the past year because I literally read it like last February or something. I have no idea. It was like almost a year ago now. And this book's plotline is still heavily in my brain. And I loved every second of this. I listened to the audiobook, and when I tell you, I immediately went to Barnes & Noble simply to pick up the hardcover because I knew one day I was going to reread it and I would want to notate the fuck out of it. All right. This is Wayward, where we have 3 different storylines, 3 different point of views in different timelines. We have one who is a witch from the 16th century, and she is on trial for murder. And that's all we're going to say about her. Love her. Then we have Violet. Also, I forgot the name of the witch. So, like, it also says witch. I'm not spoiling. I promise. Then we have Violet, who is from 1942. And her dad does not let her leave their estate. Not even to the village. And she is very jealous of her brother, who gets to explore and continue his education while she is stuck. And you get to learn her story when she finds the name Wayward carved into something. I don't remember exactly what it is. I think I do, but I don't want to tell you. Yeah, I do. It says it on the back, so like if you really want to know, you should pick up the book. Just saying. Anyways, basically she follows clues to find out some dark secrets. And then we have Kate. Kate is fleeing London. She is fleeing her abusive husband. I keep making sure I'm not saying spoilers because I have this memorized, but I want to make sure I'm not spoiling anything. So her great aunt like passed away, gave her a cottage. She hid it from her husband, and she is now fleeing him to try to make a new life for herself and not have him follow her. And those are the stories we're following. And I loved this. This reunited my love of fictional or women's historical fiction is what I'm trying to say. And I'm so thankful for it, and I absolutely loved it. And I am telling y'all that this is just about every woman's experience, no matter how different it is from other women or complex. Like, obviously it's not going to show like what every single woman goes through, but I just felt so like seen, even though I don't go through the same things that they go through, like, but it's like feelings, the way they process. Like, I felt like this was the woman's experience, and it touched me very deeply. And I wish I was a witch. I wish I was this kind of witch, but sadly the world doesn't work that way. So that is Wayward. Love. I finished it earlier this year, guys. I did. and it broke me. And if you haven't heard it yet, read Nightingale by Christina Hanna. Okay, go read it. Go. Actually, pause the video and go read it, like now, because this is so incredibly good. And you know what, while we're at it, we're also going to add The Women by Christina Hanna. This is the first one I read about, or by this author. Okay, this, after Wayward, I read these. Reconfirmed women's historical fiction is my favorite genre, point blank period. Okay, and that's saying something, because fantasy is actually my favorite genre. Like, I say this is my, but you get what I mean. Like, these will be my babies for the rest of my life. It's so good. So first, starting off with Nightingale, this is about two sisters and their point of view during World War II. We have one sister who is a mother and she is trying to protect her child, and then we have another sister who is very young, ambitious, and wants to do the right thing. They have two very different paths, but they're both working through the German occupation of France. This is war-torn France. We're in the trenches with these women and the woman experience during war, and it is absolutely heart-wrenching. I can't even say they're like plot twists, because it just felt like it was a plot twist, but it felt so real. Like, somebody have had to have gone through this. Like, this was someone's story. We just don't have a name. Like, I felt so, it felt so real, and like, such a possibility, and that's horrible. It's literally I love history. History is one of my favorite subjects, which is probably why historical fiction is one of my favorite, because it's twining the two together, but also telling the stories of women, whether real or not, slightly based on a woman, but changing some stuff. And Christina Hanna just knows how to write this. This is, like, I've read 3 books by her. I own a 4th one that I cannot wait to read. I just, if you're going to take anything away from this, it's probably one of my top authors, which is Christina Hanna now, and I cannot wait to read her entire backlog. But something about Nightingale and the women changed my brain chemistry and the way that I think about history, because this literally brought it to such an emotional level for me, an intellectual level, that I was just utterly heartbroken, and it was so good. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there because I can feel myself getting emotional. And then we have The Women. This is about Frankie, and this is set during the Vietnam War. When her brother goes to the academy and gets shipped out in the Navy, she decides she's going to become a military nurse. And so she goes through the training and she gets sent out to Vietnam. And you have the woman's experience in battle as a nurse. So you get before the war, during the war, and after the war. You get all of this, and it's a continuation. So we're not jumping back and forth. We are going through her life. But, you know, we have a bunch of side characters who are just as important. Like, when I say side characters in The Women, stand out. Especially her 2 friends that are nurses. I loved them so freaking much, and their storylines too. So good. Anyways, just absolutely loved every second of it, except for when I wanted to throw my book across the room. But it was so incredibly good, and it was just the frustrations of being a woman that I was like, you know, wanting to chuck it. But you really get the feel of her throughout her entire life. Like, you kind of feel that these are now your experiences, the way that it's being explained. There's no way not to take it emotionally and, like, internally, and, like, feel the experiences of being a woman during that time, and that, like, Dude, there were women soldiers in Vietnam, but no. Oh my gosh, I can't. Vietnam was just horrible. That's all I'm gonna say because I gotta stop. Last of the standalone, we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I also think about this book so freaking much. I cannot tell you how much I think about this book. And this is another one where so many people say this is like one of their favorite authors. They love the books by this author. This is the only one I've been drawn to read. Like where I see it and I'm like, I have to read that. And it took me a while to finally get it. And the only reason I finally got it is Book of the Month. This is not sponsored. I wish it would. Book of the Month. Sponsor your girl. I'm trying to get subscribers. Even after getting it on Book of the Month, it scared me a little bit because I was like, something tells me this book is gonna hit me hard. And so when I finally read it, it did. It did hit me hard. It hurted. A life no one will remember, a story you will never forget. That is literally the definition of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It is starting with a woman named Addie in the, what century? 1700s. She makes a bargain to live forever because she is stuck in the small town village and she's like, dude, this isn't for me. I must escape. And she makes a deal with a stranger in the middle of the night. And it goes from there. That's kind of all I'm going to say. The synopsis does say more, but I'm just telling you to go in blindly. I went in blindly and that was the best decision I ever made about this book. Because it truly took you on quite the roller coaster. Oh, just thinking about it, oh my god. Oh my god. It's such a roller coaster and things that you don't expect to happen. Going on that journey with her was something I could never take back. I loved it. So, once again, read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Now that is it for standalones. Now we are going to get into series of my God tier. Starting the series, the first two series that are in my God tier, it is by the same author. And one of them I have not completed. Yes, did I already put in my God tier? Absolutely. I'm like multiple books deep. And it still has kept my interest this whole time. And I still love it. And I still feel aghast. And like the plot line is so complex. Anyways, before I keep going, we have the Dark Olympias series by Katie Roberts. These are the books that I have finished. So that is 6 books that I have finished. And then I have 3 more that I have not, which are these. This is rewriting of Greek mythology in a way with a modern twist. So what it is there is a city called Olympus, which has this giant barrier around the entire island to protect it from the outside world. And this city is controlled by the Olympians, the 13. We have in the first book, I'm really just going to talk about the first book because obviously this is a giant series. I will let you know the couples, but that's about it. I will not tell you any of their plot lines. But what we have is Neon Gods. This is Hades and Persephone retelling. We have Persephone, who's the daughter of Demeter, but she's a very ambitious woman. So she kind of uses her daughters to her political benefit, and Persephone has had enough of that. And she decides to flee and go to the lower city. Now, the lower city has a slight barrier between. So you have the upper city where all the 13 are, and then we have the lower city where it's like a little darker. People are like a bit more sketched out. They don't go there. That kind of vibe. And she goes right into the arms of the boogeyman Hades. Hades. And it goes from there, and that's all I'm gonna say. It is a smutty series, so if you don't like smut, probably not the one for you. This has kink in it. This is Katie Roberts after all, okay? Know your author. Electric Idol, we have Psyche and Eros. Achilles, Helen, and Pancreas. Radiant Sin, which is Cassandra and Apollo. Cruel Seduction is Aphrodite, Hephaestus, Pandora, and Adonis. Cruel Seduction, Charon, Orpheus, and Eurydice. Now, the thing I will say, not every book is a 5-star book. They're like 4 stars. But I am utterly obsessed with this series. Like, I love it. I remember it. I think about it quite a bit. So that's why it's God tier to me. It is not exactly 5-star, and I know that doesn't exactly fit the rating of God tier, but it is something that's constantly in my mind as a completed series. Like, as, well, I haven't completed the series, but as a series. Now, that might change when I finish the rest of the books. I will keep you updated on that. But as of right now, no, it hasn't. So I'm not going to hold up the series the entire time, but I just wanted to show y'all. Okay, we have Throne of Glass. Update with Sarah J. Maas on Call Her Daddy. We are doing a Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, and Crescent City reread. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I'm probably going to do that if it's coming out in October. We'll probably start that in August, if not sooner. But like those months leading up to it, like everyone else I'm sure, will be pure Sarah J. Maas universe. So, but Throne of Glass, let's talk about it. Little background into my reading journey is when I was younger, I was a massive reader. But going into high school, reading got less cool. I started to have some mental issues. Looking back was a really bad choice. But anyways, yeah. So flash forward, I am 18. I moved out. I'm living on my own, paycheck to paycheck, working at Walmart, and Book Talk is exploding. And there is this series on there that I keep hearing about, Throne of Glass. And I remember, you know, being obsessed with these amazing fantasy books. What was I saying? I was in the trenches and got introduced to Book Talk, Throne of Glass. I remember being obsessed with these fantasy worlds and absolutely loving it. And I was like, you know what? Let me give it a try. Let me try to become a reader again. Like, I feel like that did benefit my mental health so much when I was younger, and it did take a decline when I stopped reading. It did impact me pretty deeply. So let's see what it's saying. And it said a lot. It said a lot because I had never before connected with the book series so much and became so utterly obsessed. This book, I remember so many distinct memories of literally racing to my car to eat lunch, eat my hour-long lunch. Yeah, at Walmart, they give you an hour-long lunch. Amazing, crazy. Sitting with my book, like feet up, sitting with my book, eating my little snackies. I was obsessed. I could not stop reading. And it helped so much. Like, my mental health during that time in my life wasn't great. But it would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for Aelin Galathynius. I can never thank that series enough for what I was going through, except for not crying. There's so many characters where I just felt very seen by, or, you know, parts of myself like reflected in. And the pain that Aelin goes through is something that I will always remember and use to help me like carry on through my life. Like, if you haven't seen or don't know, I have a tattoo on my arm that says "You do not yield," and this is a very important part of one of the books, and it's a really like traumatic scene. I struggle with mental health quite a bit. I knew reading that thing that's a tattoo that I wanted to get because it is hard, and I like having that reminder that you do not yield to anything or anyone in your life, and having that reminder on my arm constantly. Yeah. Big thank you to Sarah J. Maas for that. I don't even know what to say, so definitely God tier. We're gonna move on. Next, we have Akatar. You probably saw this coming. If I was talking about Throne of Glass, yeah. I will say, though, Throne of Glass is top tier. Like, I don't think there will be a series that I don't love as much as that. Also, I didn't realize I did successfully annotate 3 of these books. Okay, so we have Akatar. No explanation needed. It's Akatar. Like, the mental and emotional representation in this, the plot line is so fucking good. And I absolutely love it. I am a type, love political intrigue, all that. If you can't tell, with the historical fiction and the deep fantasy with political shit. Like, come on. But, special shout out. If you don't like Nesta, this is not the site for you, because Silver Flames is definitely my favorite book in this series. Here's the thing about Silver Flames, though. I'm a Nesta girly through and through. So much of what Nesta feels I connected to. Oh my god. I connected very much with Nesta, and kind of being seen as that, like, really mean person, lashes out, like, hurt people, and that's definitely some parts of, like, what I would go through, even though I did try to hide it a lot. But funny enough, listening to the Call Her Daddy podcast, I realized how much of this book I blocked out. Like, the emotion is still there, but they were talking about, like, certain scenes and stuff, and I didn't remember any of it. And I realized that I probably blocked it out. Like, I fully probably just been like, oh, nope, too real, because I don't remember. I genuinely don't. So I'm gonna do a reread. When I do the reread for this, like, know that I will be in the trenches. No, I will not be doing good at all. Like, I don't know. Who knew it would get so sad in here? Next, I'm not grabbing the whole series because they're in multiple different spots, so we're just gonna simply say Game of Thrones. Is it complete? No. Have I finished all of it? No. But I am so obsessed with the books, the series, the TV shows, like, everything. I love it all. I literally will watch videos of the history of Westeros. Explain that to me. This isn't a real world. It's fake history. Well, George R.R. Martin does use real history to reflect his stuff. I love it. It is so freaking complex. It is freaking amazing. Like, every single person, the fact that he, like, ties it in so well, even now when there's all these loose strings, but he does have a big part of the TV shows and shows where it's like, this is his child. This is his baby. So good. This universe that he's created. And yeah, I have 2 theories, by the way, for him releasing the last books. Theory number 1. HBO won't let him release it because of all the shows and all that stuff. Because once everyone knows his conclusion, whether they like it or not, it's going to probably bring down the revenue just a little bit. But who knows? That might not be. But that might be the contract that they signed. Theory number 2, he's going to release it after he dies. Okay? After the aftermath of Game of Thrones TV show, season number 8 got released, and, like, everyone was hating on it and all that. I'm with y'all. Why would I want to release the end of a series that is that beloved and has so many fans and be alive to see the aftermath, to see the thoughts? Put that in my will. The day I die, release them. I ain't dealing with the backlash. Y'all got a problem with it? Too bad. I'm dead. You can't rewrite it. So that's my second theory. That he's like, I'm not dealing with y'all's attitude. Not dealing with it. And honestly, if that's the case, good for him. You know, do what you gotta do. But finish the shows at least. Finish the shows at least. So yeah, I love political intrigue.
What was that?
I love political intrigue. It's one of my favorite things in books. Like the complexities of it in Game of Thrones is just so enticing, so good. And the storytelling in the books, absolutely love. Obsessed. Couldn't put it down. Next is, how many more do we got left? Jesus Chrysler. Oh, literally just 2.
And if we burn, you burn with us.
The Hunger Games. Who guessed it? Look. At first, these 2, money grabs. No. 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 Suzanne Collins, you and I, you're responsible for some of my therapy. Just saying. Just saying, girlie. I'm just saying that you owe me a couple $100. And instead, I paid you for more emotional damage. I paid you more. Let's talk about the original trilogy. I read this in middle school. This was during the middle school years. And the way I was obsessed like every other girl. I was obsessed. This was my favorite. And it's funny enough because at the time, movies were coming out, so everyone's like so excited for it, but I haven't read the books yet. And my dad told me that I cannot watch the movie. I cannot go to the theaters to watch the movie until I read the book. That was his way of making me read. And it worked, sir, because your daughter became obsessed. So freaking obsessed. And the movies were absolutely incredible. Probably one of my favorite adaptations. Hands down. I've reread this probably 2 times. It's definitely 2 for these guys. And I still absolutely loved it. We have Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The reason that this is a god tier, this is a 5-star, even though it's about Cornelius Snow, a man that I fucking hate. I would volunteer to put him on the pyre myself. Alive.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
I hate this man with every freaking bone in my body. And the fact that Suzanne Collins literally... How can you write a 5-star book about someone? I felt like I was hate reading. And it was still 5 stars. Like, you know how magical you have to be able to achieve something like that? Pretty fucking magical. Okay? I hated every goddamn second of this book because the psychology behind Cornelius Snow and like, okay, I didn't hate every second, but I literally, like, I know what he becomes. Obviously, I read Hunger Games. I know what he is to Katniss. I know what he's done. Why did you let me like this man in the beginning? I was catching myself liking him and being like, oh, he doesn't seem that bad. But then he would say something and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you thinking? How does that make sense in your tiny little brain? How does that make sense? I don't understand his brain. And it was so good for that reason. I was questioning my own sanity with this. I was like, am I just reading into it? Like, is this what he's really thinking? Is this how twisted? This was such a twisted mind. Oh my god, it was so incredibly good. I felt like I was reading the mind of a sociopath. It was so good. It was so convincing. This man literally thought he was doing no wrong, and he was doing all the wrongs. It was a 5-star hate book. It was amazing. And then she gave us Sunrise on the Reaping. I knew it was bad. I knew Haymitch's story would be bad. But why did you have to do this to my 16-year-old Haymitch? My poor baby. No wonder you drink. I would have years ago. The only oh my god, this book. I haven't even been able to watch the trailer for Sunrise on the Reaping yet. I literally told my husband that he has to watch the trailer with me. because I can't do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. I would literally, during the movie, he's gonna have to be nice to me all week. This series, it's got me fucked up. It got me fucked up. This book, especially, fucked up. The quotes in this book. This is a YA book. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is God tier for a reason, guys. That is how I'm surmising this. Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, Harry Potter, really God tier. Mortal Instruments, though, not quite God tier. Infernal Devices, though, honorable mention. Like, this close to God tier. I might actually think about that, because I didn't think about adding that at all. Because what I did is I went from the books that I read, you know, starting with, like, when I got back into reading in Goodreads. Like, that's where everything was. So I didn't do anything before, even though they're literally the books behind me. But I was upstairs. I didn't want to walk downstairs. But I literally took the books from 2020 to 2026 and then chose my God tier out of there. So that's why some of like the older series aren't really in this video. That is literally it. That is all of my God tier books. Thank you all for watching. I absolutely love talking about all these books and fighting my tears. God damn, was I fighting some tears, because it was so good. And I'm so glad that I get to sit in here and talk to y'all about books. And this is just so much fun. I love it so much. And I hope that y'all stick around and subscribe if you like watching. Hopefully this video is not too long and I kept your interest. But yeah, subscribe, like, comment what are y'all's God tier books and whether I should read your God tier books, you know? Tell the girlie what to read, okay? Give me recommendations. I love recommendations so much. Right now, I'm very much trying to find books I'm obsessed with. I love you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.